Hello everyone, welcome to Satya Classes. Myself Raj Pandey, and this is the new video. In this series you will learn about physics and mathematics. This is really very much important for them who are not taking maths, as well as also for them who have taken math and decided to learn physics. These are some basic tools that will come in your entire syllabus, and so they are very much important. We will learn each tool, and not in a single video. There will a series of these videos, and the first one is vector and scalar, the second one is differentiation, and the third one will be integration, and many more. So we cannot learn everything right now in a single video, so we have to make a series of videos. And stay connected, keep learning, subscribe us. Coming up next, so let's begin with the vectors and scalar. So before studying vectors and scalar, I would like to tell you about physical quantities. These are those quantities that are measured by the available instrument. Suppose that this is the pen I am taking in my hand, nearly 12 centimeter, and my height is 5'11". So these are the numeric values that are representing the scalar. Understand? Suppose that we have two mass, one of 5 kg and one is of 10 kg. So adding them, we can simply say that they are 15 kg. This kind of addition we can done with scalar, means scalar follows all the algebraic addition, multiplication, means all the algebraic operations scalar follows, but vectors do not goes in the same way. So defining scalar in such a way that certain physical quantities that are completely represented by magnitude only, and in magnitude we have a numeric value and unit. Okay, you can see over here 15 is the numeric value and kg is what? Its unit. So both collectively call as magnitude. Understand? Now what about vectors? So there are certain physical quantities that are not completely represented by magnitude, means direction is also important for them. So let me take an example to make you understand. Suppose that this is the pen. Okay, I am applying force on this pen. So look, this is the force and the pen goes like this. Okay, suppose that this time I am applying two forces. What is the intuition? That two forces collectively, if they are acting as a scalar, they will apply on the pen and pen will move faster. Okay, same forces. So let's see. Okay, it's done, but this time the forces are acting like that, so the pen starts rotating, means the same thing is not going with the scalar. Do you understand this? So what about vectors? Vectors are represented by magnitude as well as direction. Okay, the two things are important to represent vector. First one is magnitude and the second one is direction. To understand this, let's write a unit of velocity. Its unit is meter per second. Okay, and what about direction? So for representing vector, we should take an arrow, and this is the tail part and this is head part. Vector are represented in this manner. Understanding? So let's take a velocity of 3 meter per second. This 3 meter per second represents the magnitude and the arrow is representing its direction. Now one more thing, the length of this vector also represents the magnitude. Understand? So to understand vector, we have the following example, and these example collectively represent the vector. So we conclude that magnitude is not sufficient to represent vector. The requirement of direction is also a need. Understand? So let's perform some operation on vector. But before performing operation, let's talk about direction. So you have seen this east, west,
south,
understand?
north.
So any direction, if it is in such way, so you can represent it as
East, south, west,
was that
north.
this is 3 meter per second, a velocity of 3 meter per second, and when you write it completely in the vector form, you will write as 3 meter per second in east direction. Understand? But every time this is not true, that you have a given direction and that direction is specified by east, west, south, north. Understand? Sometimes a vector like this. So for this purpose we have to choose an angle theta, and this time theta will represent its direction. And remember, note this point, that every time when you try to make some angle for any vector, you have to choose horizontal axis. Understand? And the direction should be in which? Anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this time this theta will represent the direction, but we don't know how to write the theta in numeric form. Understand? So we'll see soon that how to do it. And when a vector is given in such direction and its magnitude is what? A. So A magnitude is not sufficiently representing this vector, so we'll write as A vector. Understand? This means it has direction as well as magnitude. Let me write it. It has direction as well as magnitude. Okay, so let's see what happens when two vectors are applied to a ball. For this purpose I have taken a ball, and the velocity vector is acting in this direction and also in this direction. Okay, these are two vectors that are acting on this ball. What do you think what will happen? The ball wants to go in this direction and the ball wants to go in this direction, but due to they are applied simultaneously, the ball will go in this direction. Understand? And this direction will be specified by angle theta, and this theta we have to calculate. Soon we will do it. So let's see that this velocity that are acting in two components becomes one component. Understand? Let's take another example. This time (3 meter per second) is acting in this direction and 4 meter per second is acting downward direction. So now what do you think what will happen to the ball? Ball will goes where? Somewhere in between this direction. The ball will goes like this. Now what should be the magnitude of these two individual vector acting on this ball collectively? So we have to also calculate that magnitude. So for this purpose two things are made. The first one is triangle law of vector addition, and second is parallelogram law. Okay, so we are going to discuss about these two laws, but before that let me tell you one more thing. The resolving of vector means how to resolve vector. So for resolving the vector, first of all I have to take a vector. This is the vector I have taken. Now for resolving it, first of all we'll specify its angle theta. We don't know the angle clearly, so we are specifying is that theta, and the vector name is A. Understand? So we have to resolve this vector. clearly for resolving it, you have to understand that why we are resolving this. So in this case, look, this is the ball going in this direction. Okay, these are a second photograph of this picture. This is the ball going in this direction. Okay, now you are standing here looking at the ball. You can tell that ball is ahead of you. Now what about the person standing here? It will tell the ball is in this position, and you will tell ball is in this position. So there are two positions, means the ball is covering actually x-axis and y-axis simultaneously, and the resultant is given in this direction. So every time you can see clearly that ball has two position, mean ball is covering x-axis and as well as y-axis. So for this purpose, when you have to deal in a single direction, you have to resolve the components of the vector. Understand? Now I am resolving it. You have taken theta, and the vector with this theta angle, its magnitude will be represented by a cos theta, and the secondary thing is its perpendicular vector will be represented by a sin theta. This is the way we resolve vectors. Now I have taken some question to make you understand about how to resolve vector in its component. Okay, so first question, these are the velocities directed in different direction, and they are divided in 4 parts. So let's see how to resolve its component. Suppose 3 meter per second directed in this direction, and we have to resolve it. For resolving, we have to make angle theta from the horizontal. We have done it. So 3 cos theta, this is the which direction? This is east direction, means the directed direction in this way. Okay, this is the convenient form. That's why we resolve the vector in this direction. They are perpendicular to each other, so it reduces the effort. Understand? Soon you will understand this, because these things are you will see everywhere in your whole syllabus. Understand? So this is the cos theta, and what is this? This is the perpendicular component, which is 3 sin theta. Understand? You have resolved them, and you have also now right now direction. This is which direction? East direction. This is what direction? North. Okay, very good. For this again is specify angle theta, and now resolve it. Tell me. Very good. 2 meter per second, its unit, and cos theta. Every time you need to write its unit. Okay, and perpendicular component 2 sin theta. Understand? So you see clearly that every time we have chosen its tail part. So this time let's again choose its tail part. Make the angle, make its component, and this component you will write in your copy. What about this? Move to tail part, join the lines like this. This is vertical, this is horizontal. Understand? Let me write it. 3. What about the angle? Angle will be chosen from horizontal, so this will be theta. Okay, if you have taken the direction of angle as from horizontal, choose it from horizontal. If you are taking it from vertical, you can choose from vertical. There will not be any change. Understand? But the convenient is to take from horizontal. Soon we'll take vertical also. Understand? Means we have freedom that we can use both the angle. So it becomes 3 sin theta, very good, and 3 cos theta. Please do not confuse about that what is the theta angle. This angle will be given to you when the question asked. Suppose that theta is equal to 45, so you will write it as 3 cos 45 degree and 3 sin 45 degree, and you know the value of 45. Understand? So let's discuss about triangle law. What the law says: when two vectors are acting as the side of a triangle, then its resultant will be given by the third vector. This is a vector, this is b vector, so its resultant will be a vector plus b vector, and this is also a vector. You are adding a vector a in vector b. Understand? This is the law. But what about the magnitude? So for calculating the magnitude, I am taking the second one, and after knowing second one, you can derive the same result for the triangle law. So I am taking parallelogram law of vector addition. The law says that when two vectors are represented as adjacent side of a parallelogram, then its resultant is given by the diagonal of the parallelogram. Understand? This is the law. So for this time I will find its magnitude as well as direction. So the direction is a and b are aligned at theta angle, and the direction will be again taken from the horizontal for a plus b, so this angle will be taken as alpha. Okay, I am planting the seed in your mind. Soon I will do it in a big diagram. So let's make it. This is a vector, this is b vector, and for making the parallelogram, choose this side. Okay, join them, it will look like parallelogram. So this is what? This is a plus b if this is b. Now you know the rules of parallelogram. If this is b, this will also be. Understand? Now this angle is theta, and extending this line we can do it. Okay, this is x-axis suppose, and if this angle is theta, this will also be theta. You know how? You have studied line and angle. Tell me. This is corresponding angle. Now a angle has been specified with this vector. Now you have to resolve this vector. So for resolving, what you will do? Look, this will what? B cos theta. Very good. And what about this? B sin theta. This is how we have resolved the vector. Please don't confuse yourself. This time, if this is the tail of this vector, so suppose the resolve like that, you can see here, this will be b sin theta and this will be what? B cos theta. But b sin theta can be also taken here. Do you understand this? I don't wanna make the diagram look weird. Okay, that's why I choose it here. So clearly see, if this is a point, this is b point, this is c point, a b c now acting as a right angle triangle. Understand? And you know the property of right angle triangle, AC square. Now I have started the answer of calculating magnitude. AC square is equal to, very good, AB square plus BC square. Put the value of AC square. Okay, you know it is what? A plus B, and they are in vector form. So A plus B will be collectively you can call as R. Okay, is it fine? I am taking it as R. And they are vector, so R vector. They are vector, so R vector. Now I have to square. Okay, AB square and plus BC square. So for AB square, this time you have to work on length, so you cannot choose the vectorial form for working on the length, understand? So I am taking magnitude only. R square is equal to how much? Very good, A plus B cos theta whole square. You can see AB, A plus B cos theta. And what about BC? BC will be B sin theta whole square. Okay, use your copy for solve this. So you will get how much? Okay, open the formula. You will get B square cos square theta, and for this B square sin square theta. When you take B square as common, then there will be a factor of cos square theta plus sin square theta, understanding? And that will equal to 1. So I am writing it as A square plus 2AB cos theta and plus B square, understand? Now what about R? R will be equal to root of A square plus B square plus 2 times AB cos theta. Okay, this is equal to R equal to root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, understand? Now move to its direction. So for calculating the direction, you have to calculate the value of alpha, and for calculating alpha you have to take tan alpha. Okay, because hypotenuse length is not given to you, so you cannot choose any other ratio like sine or cos, so you have to choose tan alpha. Now what is tan alpha? This is equal to perpendicular upon base. Clearly you can understand it. Perpendicular is what? B sin theta. Very good, B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. So A plus B cos theta. Now you have calculated the magnitude as well as direction. Okay, this is the direction and this is the magnitude. Now how to memorize the formula? So this is so simple. For memorizing it, you have to look here. This is the square of magnitude of square of first vector, this is the second, and this is 2AB cos theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between A and A vector and B vector. Do you understand this? And for writing tan alpha, you have to write it as B sin theta. Remember this one, B sin theta upon the base A plus B cos theta. So this is so simple. So let's solve a question based on this concept so that it will more clear to you. The given question is two vectors have equal magnitudes. A makes an angle theta with each other. Two vector, A vector and A vector, they are making theta. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant. Now you have to find the magnitude as well as direction of the resultant. So for this purpose, what you will do? For resultant, use the formula A square plus 2 times AB. In place of AB, you will have to write AA and cos theta. So theta is given to you? No, not given to you. So theta taken as it is. Understand? Now A square 2A square plus 2A square cos theta. Did you understand this? Now you can see 2A square and 2A square can be taken as common. So 2A square can be taken as common. In bracket 1 plus cos theta root over. Understand? Now if you just bring A out of this bracket, you will have 2 times, bring A, it becomes 2 times 1 plus cos theta. Okay, now some trigonometric steps are involved in solving root of 2 times 1 plus cos theta. So let me solve this for you. Okay, you see the steps how to solve this. For solving this, you have first of all 1 plus cos theta. So you have to make anyhow the square on this. For this purpose you have an identity of double angle formula, cos 2 theta. Okay, keep this identity in mind. I'm writing it, 2 cos square theta minus 1. So there you can see only theta is given, not 2 theta. So let's modify the identity. Cos theta is equal to 2 cos square theta by 2. Okay, try to understand. When the 2 theta was given here, it becomes only theta. So if this time this is theta, so this will theta by 2, means this was double, half. Put this value here, you will get a root 2 into 2 4. Can you do that? And 1 will cancel each other. So 4 times cos square theta by 2. Now you can bring them out easily, and the answer will 2a cos theta by 2. Do you understand this? This is the answer of what? This is, you have calculated the magnitude of resultant a and a. Now move for the direction. So for calculating direction, remember the formula, tan alpha is equal to, very good, v sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. This was the formula for calculating tan alpha, and a resultant will lie somewhere in between, there will make alpha. Okay, so b sin theta is what? b sin theta is a sin theta. Did you understand what is a? A is simply a, plus again you have to write b cos theta. So in place of b cos theta you will write as a cos theta. Understand this? Now you have to solve this. So for solving, take a as common. So let's take them common. It becomes a sin theta upon a 1 plus cos theta. A will cancel each other. Understand? And let me erase this for freeing up space. These steps are really very much important because this involves so much trigonometry and you have to understand this. 1 plus cos theta, again you are getting 1 plus cos theta. So use half angle formula of sin theta and use half angle formula of 1 plus cos theta. So you have done this, that cos theta is equal to how much? Very good, 1 will cancel each other again, and it will equal to cos square theta, 2 cos square theta by 2. And for the half angle formula, sin this equals to 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Understand? Divide them, and sin theta upon cos theta by 2. Very good, sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2, it is equal to how much? You can write it as tan theta by 2. Now I am writing the final expression. Tan alpha is equal to tan theta by 2. Now you know what to do next. Tan, if the function are equal, so their input must be equal, so alpha is equal to theta by 2. This is the direction in which they are acting. So this is I said they will alpha in between a and a, so you can see alpha is equal to theta by 2, means exactly at the midway of a and a. Understand? We have almost discussed about the addition of vector. Now let's discuss about types of vector. This take only just 2 minutes, nothing to worry about, and you know all these things. Okay, look, suppose that this vector is a and this is v vector. Okay, they having the same length, so they are equal in magnitude. The first point is equal in magnitude. Understand? Now they are going in the same direction, so their direction is also equal. So equal in direction means direction same. Okay, now these two vector are known as equal vector. So first I have defined equal vector. Okay, move to second, unequal. So if they are equal, having both the condition true, and when one condition do not follow any one of both condition, so it becomes what? Unequal vector. Very good. Now what about collinear vector? Collinear, this is the line and two vector are lying on the same line, no matter in which direction. Okay, they may also lie in this way, a vector and this is b vector. They are collinear. Okay, now there are so many types, and I don't think to discuss them is a very good thing. So move to next, multiplication of the vector. How to multiply them? So multiplication done using this manner. Any vector can be multiplied with any scalar. There will be no change of direction. Direction will remain same. Suppose that this is the vector and you are multiplying it by factor 2. So when you multiply, its length will be increases, but the direction remains same. Did you understand this? I mean to say this, if this is a vector 2a and you are multiplying by a scalar 2, so 2 to the 4, this becomes 4a. Its direction will not change. The change will only affect the magnitude. Understand? So multiplication can be done in this manner. But for multiplying vector to vector, there are some specialized rule. So I cannot discuss everything in just single video. So solve all the question based on direction and magnitude for the vector, and thereafter I will make a video on multiplication of the vector. Understand? So do well. See you in the next presentation.